Welcome, everyone. This is the Space Prize Speaker Series, Episode 10. It is July 13th, 2022, and we are very excited to have Marie-Lise Baron, a spacecraft interior designer, with us today. And she'll be able to tell you all about her career designing luxury jets and running a design institute as we get into today's episode. My name is Mark Wagner. I am the president of the Space Prize Foundation, which is dedicated to inspiring and empowering young women to pursue STEAM education, that's science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, and to explore careers in the growing space industry. I am joined by Dr. Leslie Anderson. I will introduce her a little more fully in a moment, and she will actually introduce you to our guest in more depth. Marie-Lise, we're excited to have you with us. So welcome to both of you and to all of our participants. We were just chatting before hitting record, and we once again have a really fantastically international group with us from the UK and Canada and the US and Botswana and Pakistan. And if I've missed anybody else, drop where you're connecting from in the chat. So I want to say a couple of words about Space Prize. I tightened up my slides a little bit though, Leslie. I want to first introduce our first challenge was the New York City Challenge, which just took place from January to May of this year. In January, the students in 5 public high schools in the 5 boroughs of New York City participated in an essay contest that led to a video contest for the finalists in February, which led to a variety of fantastic experiences for the finalists, from a simulated mission to Mars to Yuri's Night celebration, and for the winners, trips to Space Camp in Huntsville, Alabama, and a zero-G flight on May 28th. And thanks to our partnerships with Gaze in Space, we got Star Trek's Denise Crosby to fly with the girls, and thanks to a partnership with Zero-G themselves, our very own Kim Mashari got to fly with them as well. So really a fantastic opportunity to give these young women experiences with weightlessness and with attending space camp. And all of the winners were also paired with a mentor, a woman from the space industry for the next year. So really a great learning experience for them as well. If you go to spaceprize.org, you can see some of our other programs and what we're up to. We've launched our next challenge. This one's based in Paris. So we're working with a very special school in Paris. It's focused on aerospace for all of their students. And this contest will also culminate in a zero-G flight in France in February of next year. The winner will be announced at the IAC conference in Paris in September, when, by the way, we anticipate announcing the first contest in Israel to follow in the fall. We have also asked ourselves a question from the very beginning, with a hat tip to Daniel Fox for this question. What are we doing for the girls that don't go up, the girls that don't win? And part of our focus is ensuring that there is a meaningful educational experience for everybody that's involved. And a lot of those things we can share with students, educators, and enthusiasts elsewhere as well. So this interview series, this guest speaker series, is part of that, but so is the curriculum we're working on. We have completed the first 4 of these 8 chapters. The other 4 will be completed by the end of August, and we will be sharing the curriculum with the world. So I'm really, really excited about that project and glad to be working with Leslie and her team on that as well. This speaker series is another one of our educational programs that's accessible to everyone. So this features not only astronauts, engineers, and scientists, but also entrepreneurs, designers, lawyers, historians, artists, you name it. There's a lot of different career paths in the growing space industry, and we are happy to hear from women and some men from all across the industry to learn their story and learn about their work. So if you are here with us or watching the recording on YouTube, we hope that you will share these interviews with your students and colleagues and friends to give people a better idea of what's possible today and help them feel like they can do it. It's all about inspiring and empowering the next generation. So for those of you that are here with us today, do participate in the chat, please. It's fantastic to see some of you doing that already. In fact, I see I already have to catch up on chats here. Do feel free to use the raise hand feature if you want to pipe in, or again, given the small audience, you can probably just pipe in without being disruptive. If you want, if you have something to add to the conversation, feel free. And certainly if we invite you to, feel free to unmute and share screen. We've had participants share really, really cool stuff. So it's great to tap into all of the expertise that's in the room. And of course, we want you guys to ask your own questions, particularly when we get to the Q&A, but feel free to pipe in anytime. If you do need help, you can just put that in the chat or direct message me, or actually use the help feature, which will effectively do the same thing. And then the last thing is we will occasionally leave wait time, and this is by design. Okay, we want to be sure that our guest speakers are finished speaking, even if there's a language barrier, and we want to ensure that our participants have finished asking their question, or that they don't have another question before we jump in. So there may occasionally be some wait time, but don't worry, that's by design. Any questions from any of you before we get started? Cool. All right, I want to introduce our host, Dr. Leslie Anderson. She is a Albert Einstein Distinguished Fellow in Washington, D.C., currently assigned to the Library of Congress. She has been a teacher at High Tech High School in San Diego, and she's a science teacher for what it's worth. And she has traveled the world doing legitimate scientific research that she's been able to bring back to her students and educators elsewhere, but studying great white sharks, sea turtles, neutrinos in the polar ice caps, if I recall correctly, and she's also worked at JPL. So really a lot of experience that she brings to the table too as our host, and it's really fantastic to have her here to interview our guests like Marie-Lise. But Leslie, take it away.
Thank you so much, Mark. So I'm really excited to introduce you all to Marie-Lise Baron. She is a French-Canadian designer renowned for her unique aeronautical, exclusive signature, commercial, and residential design projects. She graduated after specific private classical studies in Quebec City and Montreal, Canada. Living her passion for this magnificent three-dimensional art, she created her own design firm to offer professional and aesthetic expertise in 1993. In parallel, and for many years, she also transmitted her talent by contributing to the development of interior design classes as a teacher for the International Academy of Design and Technology in Montreal. In 2004, she supported the international company Fruits and Passion as a designer and chief project manager for Canadian and international markets. She created many commercial projects and furniture, including one in Paris. Marie-Lise Baron has reached a higher level in design and architecture and developed an additional design specialty in interior and exterior of aeronautical projects. Bombardier Aeronautic had the privilege to work with Marie-Lise Baron, and she continued to raise her excellent reputation with her private jet customers, with whom she now works as a private jet designer. In 2021, she founded the Barren Institute, the International Design Institute of Luxury and Private Jets, which is the first and most unique program in the world in the aerospace industry, specializing in the luxurious world of private jet design services. The Institute was founded to offer captivating online education to aspiring private jet designers to better serve the global aeronautic industry. Marie-Lise, thank you for being here. First question I'm going to ask you is, can you tell us about your work as a private jet designer?
Oh, I'm so passionate about private jets and aerospace, everything where I can be in the air, or it's so you know, when you have a new goal, a new I'm looking for my words. A new, not only a new goal, but a new, I forgot the name. That's me. That's that's me. Anyway, this work is absolutely fantastic, and when I work with the customers, what I love the most is to see a smile in their face, because they have so many things to ask, but not only the minimum. They want the top of the top, and all the materials has to be tested, So it's a lot of challenge to work in private jets, and this is what I love the most. Challenge. This is the word I was looking for.
Did you want to share a video with us so we can get the
Yeah.
chance to see a little bit more about your work?
Yeah, it's a short video of 1 minute 12 seconds, and you will see the similarity of a capsule and a private jet. So the reason I want to show you the small video is because now when you look at in a capsule, a spaceship, you can see all the wires and it's not finished, and and in the plane it was like that. At the beginning it was wires not finished, and now, wow, the work we have done. So you could see the you can see the progress. Share my screen. Do you see my video?
Perfect. Yes.
Okay. So it's very quick, but yeah, you can see the evolution of the work. This is a BBJ back 7 for a 28 years old man. So this is the mood board to present to the customer. And then this is the finished product. Oh, I don't think we will see the before and after. I thought you could see. So this is even what I do for the customers. So there you can see the work before. This is after. Okay, so we won't see the wires, but let me show you the similarity of a capsule. Do you see this capsule? Okay, this capsule is a capsule from Japan. Okay, it's the same thing than space perspective, the same activity, but the shape is different. This is Japan, and the person from Japan asked me to design their customized interior for each special event for each customers for this capsule. So this is very interesting for me. This is home, it's not the same thing than design a home or a house. Everything is square in a house. Of course, I started to design a home and stores and a commercial project, but after a while, it's when I know everything, I want to know more and know more and learn more and have new goals and have new challenges and the reason why I'm there is I told myself, okay, Marie, you deserve the best and the top. So just think to go in private jets, yachts, something more challenging. So I just put a plane on the wall and I was looking for the plane every day. Of course, I asked Bombardier to take me, and it took 1 year before they take me. But I was looking for the plane every day. And one day, I forgot the plane, and I was working with Fruits and Passion as an international designer, chief design project. So, and one day I received a call, and it was Bombardier. And I said, oh, I just forgot them. And they said, the interview will be in English. Are you fine with it? I said, yeah, no problem. But the thing is, I was not talking English. I was writing only, because I can just, when you just write, you can go back and, correct your mistakes. And it's not something like it comes out, and when it's out, you cannot swallow it. So I said, yeah, no problem in English. I'm fine. So after that, I said, oh shit, what I'm doing. So I called the school, and I said, I asked Bombardier, can you wait for me 2 weeks? I'm super busy. So they said, yes, take your time. So I called the school, and I asked, okay, I have an interview in 2 weeks. I need to learn by heart my interview. So this is what I did. And I got the job. But
what an amazing story. Oh my gosh. And I think I think everyone has a little bit of, can relate to that a little bit, feeling like you maybe don't, am I really qualified for this? Can I really become the job? But I am so impressed that you were able to push yourself to learn English like that, to be able to speak in the interview. That's amazing.
I just said, yes, yes, yes. So I was the yes woman.
Good. That's really good advice.
So, but the funny thing was, it was not funny for me, because after, in Bombardier, it's only English, and all the people speak English. I was, oh my gosh, I don't understand anything. So I didn't know anything about the planes, anything about the English, anything about nothing. But I knew that I have the talent and the personality, because when you work in private jets, you need to be very you need to be a listener, a good listener, like it's almost like a psychologist. And if you don't listen, you don't learn, and you don't know about your customer. So you need to be a listener, empathic, a lot of empathy, and the talent. So that happened very often, that I was looking for, sorry about my COVID. I was looking for a fabric, in the same time, then the customer's wife, because interior is with the wife. When she's there, it's the wife. The wife is the boss. And when it's about all the technology and all that stuff, it's the man is the boss, but the interior is the woman. But the man says, okay, may I have my own cushions with my styles for my business meetings, because when it's too feminine, the boss, the owner doesn't feel comfortable. So it's fun because we have two sets, the man set and the women set. It's fun. So
oh,
no, I was going to say I was looking for a fabric in the same time than the wife. And in the same time, I turned and I said, hey, look at this one. She said, hey, look at this one. It was the same fabric, the same pattern, the same color. And it was a nice coincidence. So the chemistry is very strong with my customers.
So it sounds like you have sometimes two different interior designs for the same plane, and you swap it out depending on the flight.
Yeah.
Wow.
And when we have our meetings, it's funny sometimes because the wife has needs and the owner has his needs, but he wants his wife happy. So sometimes they don't agree on the same thing, because the wife wants to please the family. The family is her main interest, you know, to welcome the parents, the grandparents, the kids, and the owner, it's business. So the requests are not the same at all. But finally, at the end of the day, everybody is happy. You know, it's this is the most fun part. It's when you design something to please both of them in the same time. This is the challenge.
Well, that's a big part of design, isn't it? It's listening to the customers and making it work.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Listen. This is and take notes nonstop.
I will say, I really love what you just said about personality being the part that drives you in what your career choice is, because I think that's so important. I think often people are deterred from going into a particular field because they don't know enough about it. But if that's the type of person that you are, you're empathetic, you're a good listener, that really does help to set you up for being really successful in this field. I know we're going to ask you really quickly, if you're done sharing pictures, we'll invite you to stop sharing your screen. You can see your face.
I'm sorry.
On there, if that's okay. Awesome.
Oh,
so
okay.
I want to ask you another question now. You've talked a little bit about private jet interior design. How did you go from that into spacecraft interior design? And what are some of the biggest differences and challenges with spacecraft interior design?
Oh, well, that's a very nice story. First, I've been published in a book. The book is Secrets of Selling to the Super Rich. And they call us the stars of selling to the super rich. And you can find it on Amazon. And a lot of people buy this book, and I'm very surprised to have, you know, connection with people from Russia, from US, from everywhere around the world, and Australia, and somebody from Australia contacted me and he said, I thought it was a joke. You know, because I saw so many weird things. Weird people are contacting me for many reasons, and this guy just wrote to me and he said, the space needs you. That's it, that's all. He said, I bought the book, Secrets of Selling to the Spirit, and the space needs you. He said, the space needs you. Is it a joke? So I usually I answer very fast in the week, but I took 1 month to answer back to this person. He said, okay, where the space need me, you know, can you give me more information about the space needs you? He said, yeah, I'm learning in space field, and he said, this is my next job, to work in the space, and I would like to talk to you. So I started to talk to him, and he was working for Axiom. I didn't know. And he said, you need to know John Spencer. Okay. Who is this? You need to meet John Spencer. Okay. So we had a meeting, and John Spencer, as you know, is an architect, a space architect. And we started to have our meetings every week. We had a meeting one-on-one. And he said, the space needs you. I said, how come the space needs me? You know, I couldn't understand why. So I said, explain to me. What do you see that I don't see? So he said, this is the same shape. This is all your knowledge about the private jets are the same application than in a small spaceship. So he was really happy to share with me his design of spaceship and project. And so this is where the conversation started. And he said, I want you on my projects. And so this is where it started. And every week we had a meeting, and we have the round table, and I met so many nice people like you, Mark. This is where I met you, and many others. And this is such a nice community. I never saw a community like that, and they are so positive and so helping, and you know, everyone wants to know everyone. This is so nice. And maybe, I don't know if it's because there is no competition yet. This is my question, but this is where the space jumped in my life. With the book, Secrets of Selling to the Spirit, because this is where we are going with the tourists and design and interior, and this is so the same thing. just need to listen to the customer and have the knowledge of all the application that you can design when you design a private jet interior. The needs, we don't know, maybe they will work. An hotel, how can we design an hotel and but in a round space? It's all round, nothing is square. Yeah.
That leads to me to my next question. So I'm thinking also on a plane, there's like a very clear up, down, left, and right, and a house too. But when you're in space, there is no up, down, left, right. How does that impact the way that you think about designing spaces?
This we need to restructure the way we think. It's not the, you know, you have the gravity on Earth, and in the space it's round and there is no gravity. So it's another way to think completely. And we also need the greens. The most difficult thing in the spaceship is the green materials. We want to be sustainable. This is the most sustainable field. I never work in space. I can tell you, private jet, we are starting to change the way we work, and they have to do it now, right now. But space, completely green. Materials, it's the most difficult thing to work with, because they have to pass the test, fire test. But also you cannot escape. In the plane you can jump. But in a capsule, you have to think twice before you put material, and you have to recycle what your garbage, and you know, it's small things that we don't think on Earth, that when you are in space, you need to think about it. What do you do with your garbage? And if the fire starts, if you are hungry, what do you do? The food is coming from where? So it's super basic, and we have to work with the minimum. And the thing I've learned is, if we work with natural materials, they have a fume, they have a smell, and we cannot work with that. So it's a balance, you know. It's fire or smell, or
That's so interesting. I feel like I imagine interior design is so much more artistic and making the client happy, but it sounds like it's so much more practical than that as well, which is really important.
Yeah, we start with all the rules, and after we know all the rules, this is the most important, rules. After the rules, you can play in the square, but not You cannot jump over the square. You have to stay in the square and do your artistic work in the square. And the limits are the rules. And we can do fantastic things, even in the rules, but you have to know the rules. And we don't work alone. We have to work with colleagues as well. So we have a professional of toilets, a professional of windows, a professional of carpets, of everything. So it takes 1 year to do the completion of an aircraft. 1 year. So, and we are about around 2,000 to work on an aircraft. So it starts on a piece of sheet, and then you see this big machine flying. And this is the most impressive thing I feel. You know, it's very, when you are beside a private jet, it's very intimidating. It's a big baby. I call them my babies because I put so much effort and my heart, and
Even the one you showed us was beautiful. And that's an amazing transformation to watch how much can happen in such a short amount of time. I will argue that one of the other most amazing things that you do besides transforming planes is, as an educator, do you want to tell us a little bit about the Barren Institute?
Yeah. After when I finished my work with my customer, I said, oh my gosh, there is no school to teach this specialty, and design is so wide. It's a wide topic. You can treat a lot of stuff in design. So can we have a specialty in private jet? And why private jet? It's so fun to work in this field, and there is so many things to learn that you cannot just jump and say, okay, I want to design private jet like that. So it takes 1 year to go around a project to learn. And I noticed that most of companies ask 7 years of experience in design for private jet to work for a company. And you cannot take just a customer like that and say, okay, I'm going to design your private jet. No, impossible. You don't know all the mechanic of the managing. The management is the most important thing. It's a lot of management, and I could say it's 10% of creativity. 10. The rest, management. How to manage your order. When you order just the samples, there is a rule to order samples. You have to be mechanic, you know. It's not like no, it's very severe.
We had a question, Marie-Lise, in the chat from one of the one of the participants who happens to be from Quebec, which is really great. And she's really excited to hear that you guys, or that you're doing this work there. She was wondering if you think the schools in Quebec are preparing students well for this career. I think if that's my translation of her question. And feel free to speak up. Danae, is that
Diana? Diana?
Yes. Bonjour Marie-Lise.
Bonjour, ça va bien?
Quelle découverte. C'est une découverte. Excellent. Merci. It's a really incredible discovery. I come to some of these presentations that Mark sets up and never expected to find something in my own backyard. Ici. Wow.
It's new. It's new.
Incredible. It's incredible. I actually was just recently looking at private planes with my son, who is a pilot, and looking forward to his future. So I would love to know if the schools in Quebec are connected to the career opportunities in your institution, because we do have the VOC eds, we have the career programs, but I never ever have come across anything like this yet. And where are you located? That's the other question.
Okay. I'm located in Montreal first, but distance doesn't matter. We can do everything by distance today. Even the presentation to our customer, we can do it on a big screen. They can be in their home, and we can do a presentation of the interior in 3D, like a walk-in movie.
Wow.
And they can change the materials, like click, 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 and I can send them the materials and the numbers, and okay, to have this material, you have to click there and click there. So this is the new way to present. And of course, it's better to be in person, but the goal is to limit the trips for many reasons, to be more respectful for the nature. You know, why if you can stay home, why you have to fly so far to present your project? So it's better to, you can present like two times in person, but I don't think more than two is necessary. If you ask if the school is connected with other company for the job,
or educational institutes, des commissions scolaires, puis comme ça.
My school is not from the government. Okay, I manage my school. It's private school, and I don't want the government in on my table. No, thank you.
But do you present to schools? Do you present to?
I
Basically,
try.
that's what I'm asking.
Are
Yes?
you based in Quebec, province of Quebec?
Montreal.
Okay. Well, I tried. Quebec, do you know the mentality in Quebec?
Oh, je sais, I know.
Okay. Just to explain to Mark and Leslie and all the people, mentality in Quebec is when you are born to be poor. This is the mentality. If you make money, you screwed someone or the government, or you steal that money. You don't have to be rich. Money here is not looking good. So, and so you cannot show you have money. You have to drive in a car very humble and don't show you have money. So I asked one school, you know, I went to school in Montreal. I had a teacher that I like so much. And I asked her, can I do a presentation in your school, Cégep du Vieux-Montréal? It's a high school. So the students are about to finish their interior design, and industrial design and architecture. So they are about to finish. I said, that would be great to present my school. And she said, yeah, let me talk about your school to my colleagues. Okay, I'm going to wait for your answer. Can wait for it. And she said, they all said no. No. Too specialized. And second reason, not everyone speak English. I said, can they decide that by themselves? Can they be aware that this school exists? No. It's a school from the government. So I said, you know, this is Quebec province. So small, it's narrow. They don't want to expand. You know, if you don't speak English, go to school and learn. That's it.
Yeah,
It's
I guess
easy.
that relates to your story, going your 2-week crash course before your interview, right?
Yeah. So, and here we have a fight, not in my home, but outside. English, French. This is the big fight.
Mm.
So if I come with my English school, that's something that the Quebec, you know, I thought to move, of course, because my life is, I cannot exist like with my full potential in Quebec.
Wow.
My people are in California. My customers, the people I love the most, and all of you.
Maybe it's a good opportunity to zoom out a little bit. And I want to reiterate the invitation to everyone who's here. If you guys have any questions for Marie-Lise before we wrap up, go ahead and drop them in the chat or use the raise hand feature. But Marie-Lise, if we look at that sort of economic theme in Quebec and we zoom out a little bit, and you were telling stories about selling to the super rich, but you've also been on the roundtable with me, and you know how important it is to avoid that billionaire joyride narrative, right? You know, even though you're designing aircraft and now spacecraft for the super rich, what is the value of these private spacecraft in particular to others and to the future of humanity? Because I think that's maybe an important note to hit before we wrap up.
Can you?
Oh, sorry, it was a big question.
It was a long question.
Yeah, you're designing for the super rich right now. What do you think the importance of these vehicles is to ordinary people, or what do you think the future importance is?
Well, I see that it's going to be democratized. Do I say it well?
Democratized?
Yeah.
Yes.
And more people are going to be able to to go in the space, and even not go to a long trip. So some trips are like for a short period, like few minutes or a few hours, but many people are going to be able to go. So it's going to be more accessible for people. And like the private jet is more accessible. I know now that you can have a flight, a private jet flight for 5,000 to go somewhere, but it's an empty leg. Do you know what is an empty leg?
Sure, there's no customer on that leg, but they're going to pick somebody up, right?
Yeah, so they say, okay, we are empty, we are going there. So who is in to come? So you cannot choose your flight, but you can try the experience. And I can tell that this is the greatest experience I had to fly in a private jet. Yes, it's smooth, no sound, it's peaceful, very peaceful.
Hopefully one day your spacecraft will be the same way, and maybe one of us on this call will get a chance to fly on one of those.
Yeah, this is what I see for the future. And this is why I'm very excited to be part of the community, the space community. Not only for the people, because the people are super nice, and I can tell, yeah, they are super nice. And I see that everyone wants to the same thing, go the same direction. We all want to make it happen, and it's there. We just have to work together, and it's very close, very, very close. So
You shared a little bit with us about your own school and this amazing Barren Institute, but we do have a question in the chat wanting to know what your own experience was in your educational journey, and how did you get to where you are now?
my education journey.
Yeah, what did you study, and how did you get into this field, and was there anything special about your education journey that you wanted to share with us?
I am a simple woman who grew up in Quebec City in a private school with nuns, super ordinary. But I always been very different. You know, I don't want to do all like everyone do. I want to do, if a bunch of people are doing the same thing, I say, no, I'm not going there, I'm going there. So I studied with nuns, and then I went to school after a long time. You know, I wanted to be a psychologist first, a doctor, and I had the cranial trauma that I forgot my biology, so I couldn't continue my school. So I went to work, and I discovered my artistic side, and I said, oh, wow, okay, I'm good. So I said, okay, it's time to go back to school and design, and, you know, listening. I love listening. So listening people who wants talk to me about their private life in design, for interior design. This is exactly what happening, you know. Psychologist is a bit of designer, artistic, it's all mixed together. So, and work with people to give them the top of design. You know, I like to work with people who are very perfectionist. Okay, so this is exactly the job for me. And then I studied in design, interior design in different city because I was moving a lot. So Montreal, Saint Hyacinthe, Quebec City, you know, Sherbrooke, Magog. So I was moving so many times. So, every time I was changing my job, I said, okay, this is too small. My space is too small. I need something bigger. I learned everything. So I learned so fast that I grew up very fast. I started to design private jet interiors in 2004. So I was young, and I was single mother. I raised my daughter in the same time as a single mom. And I had 14 private jet in the same time. So I know I know what I can do.
Thank you so much for sharing your whole story. And thank you for sharing the perspective about why it's so important to have certain personality styles that fit the type of job. I think that's really important for people to think about as they're entering career paths. I know we're just over time, and I wanted to give Mark a chance to kind of wrap things up. It went by so fast, didn't it?
Yeah.
But thank you so much, Marie.
I talk a lot, eh? Do you have I can answer more question if I have time.
Well, Tasha definitely had one question there, but I know some people who are here live might have the hour calendared, so want to wrap things up formally. But maybe we'll leave it open for the one more question. But thank you for coming, Marie-Lise. It's fantastic to hear the challenges of selecting materials for luxury spacecraft, the importance of designers listening to their colleagues, and I think for me, your story of perseverance and taking initiative is also valuable. But the thing that really blows my mind is that your job exists in 2022, and that means it's something that students today legitimately can prepare for. They can go to the Barren Institute, they can follow in a similar path, and it's another opportunity for people that are interested in this kind of thing. So thank you for being here. Thank you, Leslie, again, for being here, both of you, so late, and to all the participants. I will leave the recording running, Marie-Lise, if you want to answer that last question. I've got just a couple of minutes, and then we'll wrap it up, and the episode will be up on YouTube soon. But thank you, everybody, for coming.
Rebecca, you have a question?
Oh, it was from Tasha. She's curious about the process you use to find the optimal materials for your project. Like what process do you use to find new materials and furniture?
Oh my God. Do you see all the materials? Yes. It's nothing. Okay. We have companies who are specialized in private jet materials because they have to pass the fire test, all of them. So, and we have sustainable products. This is the sustainable products are my shushu. If I don't know how to say it in English, but it's from the heart. I have even my own collection of sustainable product, but loose equipment, because just somebody who is working in private jet can understand what is loose equipment and fixed equipment. Fixed equipment has to pass the test, fire test, everything you fix in the private jet, and loose equipment is all the bedding stuff, pillows, cushion, linge de table, linens. So they don't have to pass the test. So I have my sustainable collection of loose equipment for bed, and the throws made of rose fiber. It looks like silk, but it's made with roses. It's roses leftover. You know, instead of put the leftovers, old roses in the garbage, they recycle the roses and they do a fiber, and it looks like silk. The same feeling, the same look. Amazing. And yeah, so it's the materials is the more complex topic of design of private jet materials. It's all about that. And all you see is carpets. Yeah, I have a bunch of leather, but now we have a vegan leather, because, you know, cows, it takes a lot of cows.
Well, thanks for the insight into that too, Marie-Lise. Fun to hear the rose material anecdote, if nothing else. So Tasha, I hope that helped. But I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. As usual, I'm happy to stick around for a couple minutes if anybody has questions or wants to socialize. But thank you again, everyone, and to Marie-Lise and to Leslie.
My pleasure.
Yeah,
thanks
such
to
a fantastic
everyone.
addition.
Thanks, Mark, for inviting me, and thanks, Leslie, for entertaining, you know.
You got it. Between the language barrier and COVID, you did a very good job.
Entertaining.
True.
We really appreciate you, Marie-Lise. It was amazing hearing your story. And thank you to all of you for submitting your questions. We appreciate the participation that we have every week.
And feel free to connect with me on my Facebook, my LinkedIn, my social media, Instagram. You can find me with my name, Marie-Lise Baron. And Instagram is mlbaron.design. Simple.
Awesome. I'm going to stop the recording, but then you can share your LinkedIn link if you want in the chat, and we'll go from there.